So you're not a virgin, baby. I'm not too.
Please let this not go viral.
I don't expect us to sit here and tell people out there, and most of people watching this are not virgins too, that it's a wasted conversation. If you're telling people it's the right time to have sex, you will tell teenagers not to have sex. They will do it. Stop. Your parents told you not to have sex. You did it. My parents told me to. I did it. So I'm saying people are doing it at certain ages that you consider too early. And there are some ages where you will hear somebody say, I've not had sex before, and you'll be like, ah, really? So I'm saying a balance somewhere. And
let's calm down now. What's up, people? This is your favorite podcast host, Coke Boy. And today is the 22nd of December 2022, Thursday, which is the same date the Thursday episode is dropping finally after 2 failed drops. Before we continue, I just want to make sure you know that this audio was recorded months ago, and some of my views that were heard have changed. So if anybody gives me shit or abuse, just know that I've changed my views on some things that you might not agree with. So let's get straight into it.
I'm in the capital city of Abuja, and my friend's place. So let's get straight to it. The topic of discussion is this: at what age, ideally, should kids, whoever, I don't want to say kids, but start having sex? When is the right time for somebody to start fucking?
Wow, that's deep, because that's like saying premarital sex is good, and in all ramifications.
All right. So you're not a virgin, baby. I'm not too.
Please let this not go viral.
I don't expect us to sit here and tell people out there, and most of people watching this are not virgins too, that it's a wasted conversation. If you're telling people it's the right time to have sex, you will tell teenagers not to have sex. They will do it. Stop. Your parents told you not to have sex. You did it. My parents told me to. I did it. So I'm saying people are doing it at certain ages that you consider too early. And there are some ages where you will hear somebody say, I've not had sex before, and you'll be like, ah, really? So I'm saying a balance somewhere. And
I had the chance to go back into time. I wouldn't have had sex in the first place. I'm not even joking. This thing is like sweet. When you lick it, if you just taste it, you want to take in more. I hope you get it.
Yes,
if you're having this conversation with a virgin, right? Not like I'm not a virgin, but if you're having this conversation with a virgin, you will see that the person's view is like abruptly no.
No, they cannot have this conversation. I cannot have this conversation with a virgin.
Why not? It's not like they don't crave it. It's not like they don't want it.
But what I'm asking you is at what age? You know why I'm asking you? Because there are ages where you would when you don't have sex with a certain age and then you get married to somebody, for example.
Yeah.
If you've not had sex and you get married to a man that has been having sex.
Yes.
You think he's going to be sexually happy or satisfied?
He will teach me. That is the joy of these things. You teach your partner. You communicate. No, so you communicate with your partner.
You're not a virgin.
I'm not disputing that, but this should not go viral though.
I pray it goes viral, my podcast. But see,
yes,
if you are not married, if you are married to a virgin man, is that something that you would like?
You have no idea.
Comes in 2 minutes, has bad stroke.
You work on it. That's why it's relationship. You work on these things. You can't just find the perfect one out there. If you're even trying to center this thing on relationship wise, I think communication is key. Because sometimes you find the perfect man that is doing all the rounds for you, but it's not fitting in other areas.
Yeah, but sex is a very important area of marriage or relationships.
I think sex should have like 40% and then 60% to other areas. People attach so much.
I have an ad here to bring to you, and I don't want to forget it, because after this, I promise you, we're just going to plow ahead until it's finished. Is that okay? Of course it's okay. Thank you. I love you guys. Benue Food Fiesta is 6 days to go. It's happening on the 28th of December at Sheraton Hotel, Makurdi, Benue State. And it's just going to be food. There's a lot of food vendors, and almost anything you want to eat is going to be available on site. And there's going to be comedy, laughter, performances by different artists. And you should be there. Tickets are available at Topside Lounge. Tickets Boku at Topside. So please buy. And for more inquiries or sponsorship or anything like that, you can call the following number: 070-8029-6099. Don't have to repeat it, so you can just click backwards 15 seconds. Okay, don't worry. 07080296099. Tickets are 2,000 naira. 6 days to go, 28th of December. Food, Bene Food Fiesta. Let's go.
In having sex, and I look back and I'm kind of justified. I did mine when I did it.
So if you say 14, 16, you're saying you did your own
No, I'm not
at
trying to
13,
give
12.
you an like
Okay,
a
no, yeah,
range.
I'm not going to even
No,
go
no,
there.
no. I'm not doing that.
Mm.
I'm just saying that ideally for me, since it's now a trend for teens and
Yeah.
adolescents, I think you should start thinking of having sex probably 18. 18 is fair. At
Okay.
least then you know how your body works and how to deal with whatever repercussions come
Mm.
along the line. So
Okay. But do you think maybe for different genders, the time to have sex can differ?
of course,
So who do you think should have sex earlier?
maybe the guys, so
Why do you think so?
they can learn a little bit
About
more about sex
pleasing women, yeah?
and pleasing women.
Because you think that's important.
Of course, it's important.
Yeah. So because when we were arguing off camera, you were saying sex is not. Yeah. Sorry, I have to bring it back to you. You're saying it's not important because you can work towards it. So do you think that a marriage would work with with one partner maybe is not really good in bed or doesn't have that much experience, doesn't have any experience at all?
A
You think a
marriage,
marriage would
a
work the
marriage
way it should when
where
one is experienced and one is not?
a marriage where both parties are willing to work on anybody's weakness. Those kind of things are trivial.
Yeah, you know talk is cheap, and me and you have experience, not together obviously, but me and you have experienced what they call conji.
Yes,
There's a certain thing, and women get irritated in bed easily. Yeah,
true.
they'll just change, switch up, and you know. So when you are a woman that has had sex with one, two, or three guys before, and then you have a husband that is a virgin, he does everything. He's a good man. You get,
Mm-hmm.
but he's a virgin, and then you're feeling kinky. Maybe he even has a good body. So looking at him, you feel like you're about to have a nice time. Yeah,
Yeah.
even though you know he's a virgin, but his inexperience and his constant lacking will put you off time after time, and you have to obviously adapt to that. But then that impatience and that irritation you get after each session and how it's disappointing. It's to me, I would think that it's going to be too much of an inconvenience for the woman.
Not
And
if she likes her or loves her husband as much. See, the thing here is nobody was born a professional. Even the previous experiences you've had, if you ask their girlfriends
mhm.
then when they were not experienced, they'll have probably the
Yeah,
same.
yeah. But this is
So why
marriage now.
can't you work?
It's not as if she
You
has any
have
hope
to
of
work
breaking up
on
and
your
going to.
husband. Marriage is different from is the highest point of relationship. I hope you know that.
Mm-hmm.
Being boyfriend and girlfriend, I can easily not say anything to you and just go
Mm.
out and have it out there. But it's marriage. You're my husband. If I don't tell you that, baby, you're not doing this stroke right, then why am I married to you?
Okay.
I don't know if you get it.
But do you know that cheating is not the only other side effect to the man not performing? Like for example, when a woman is unsatisfied in bed, she tends to be grumpier. Look, sorry, I don't know. I'm not a woman, you get, but this is I've read things, and when you look at it, if a man satisfies his wife in bed, yeah, I think there's a level of respect and that he will get, and if he's not doing that, arguments that shouldn't be arguments would be arguments and stuff like that.
So which would hurt you more?
Uh,
Having those arguments with your wife, like,
no
or
man,
discovering that she's cheating on you because you're not good in bed?
does it
Which
have
one
to
will
be?
hurt you more?
You see, does it have to be one of the two? Because I think it has to be one of the two. She has to take it out somehow. That frustration has to take it out somehow.
I'd rather take it out on you by being grumpy than
So
cheating on
why
you now.
do we not just avoid all of that and let people just fuck
But
early?
you know, the thing is, it's not how early you have sex that determines how good you become. I
How
hope you
much,
know
yeah?
that.
Okay. Yeah, but it's not how much. Like,
Because people have been I've had sexual experiences where they are not young guys and they did not know how to do it well.
but
It's not how long you've been doing it, no.
okay,
It's how informed you are about
the other
how to
person's,
please.
yeah.
There are spots on a woman's body that probably triggers some emotion.
Can you give
How
us some pointers?
how well do you know this? It's not, I'm just trying to say,
Yeah.
it's not how early you start doing this thing. No.
Mm.
If you start late, how good are you doing? It's just like when people are arguing
Yeah.
about dick size and all that. I keep saying it's not the size. It's not.
You're really coming off really experienced right
It is
now.
not the size.
Yo,
It's not. It's
okay.
not about it.
Yeah,
It's how
let's diverge a little bit here. I want to ask one question that is causing like lots of arguments online everywhere, honestly.
yeah.
Does size matter?
Size does not matter at all.
I think that's okay.
Size
Yeah.
does not matter at all. See, it just has to do with being used to a person, right? I
Mm,
can be dating someone
mm,
before my present boyfriend that has like a bigger dick size,
mm,
right? I'm used to that. So
okay.
coming here now, you're like small.
Mm,
It's not what I'm used to getting,
okay.
but you're still doing it right.
How you do
That's
it?
the most important thing.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
not possible that the one that has the smaller dick is even doing it better, but the dick size there is now confusing you. No, it's not the size at all.
Okay. So, but
If you
yes,
even ask girls self, I think majority prefer
smaller.
smaller dick sizes because the big one is
Yeah, it
I'd
like go
rather
it
not go
goes
into
places and it's like
yes, I'd rather
scattering. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So let's come back to our normal topic now.
Okay.
First of well, I'm going to ask this question to like maybe to get an average perspective on this question I'm asking now, but I really appreciate your feedback. Um, but now personally, you said 18, yeah, maybe
Mm-hmm.
for women,
Mm-hmm.
and then the boys should start a little earlier. Well, for me, I would say 16 for men and 16 for women too. And let me tell you why. Because there's this thing, a lot of times men and women or boys and girls are crushing on each other like when they're in the same class or in the same growing up together, you know.
Yeah.
And if you're advising one to start before the other, it means you are not going to be doing it with your mates.
But I used to crush on my seniors.
I understand that, and I understand that women like men who are even like higher up
Older.
than the ones
Yeah.
that they see as their mates. But is that healthy though for the men in their own class? You get so
They'll
if
buckle up for the junior ones that are coming behind, not their
you
mates.
cannot be looking at younger people like that because it's like pedophilia now.
Is
So
it?
eh,
It
now
depends on how
you
young
can't
you
be
go
grooming
down the
someone that is
ladder.
14 in primary in maybe just
Girls are
three.
men of 50 are drilling girls of 25. That's
They are
not an
all adults now. That's the
excuse.
difference. They are all adults.
Okay.
Mm. But see my own reason, yeah. First of all, puberty hits you at 13, yeah. That's when you start seeing change. I mean, for a man, from my own personal experience, I think I started getting those things when I was like 13. So you start getting curious about sex,
Mm-hmm.
and I think 3 years is enough time to wait, you know, before you now do it the first time. And when you're 14, you already almost know everything. To be honest, when you're 14, you know everything.
Now, right? Because when I was 14, I didn't know Jack. I was so scared of men.
Mm.
I'm telling you, if a group of boys are sitting, I can't even pass there. That's how
But yeah, that's part of
scared
it,
I
you know.
was.
That's part of it. Like I think that's the woman's perspective
And I
of
think if I
things.
got sex education, I wouldn't have been emotionally blackmailed into having sex with anybody. I never got that sex education talk from anybody.
But okay,
So
the, are you saying maybe your first you lost your virginity because somebody emotionally blackmailed you?
yeah, I'm saying that.
I want you tell me the story, but
How am I
let me guess. No, come on now. You're not mentioning any names. You're not
I
saying
don't need to mention
any
people that
times.
know me with my face already know what I'm talking about. So I
Yeah,
don't need to mention names here.
yes, so you won't, but you like give me like a skeleton of the thing.
Yeah.
So just
Okay, skeletal view.
mm,
I was very young and
mm,
naive, and I had this whole idea of first love is your husband kind of thinking.
oh,
So I and you know this thing, like it or not, girls like bad boys. Because I can tell you that there were plenty people in that school that liked me, but I don't know why it was this bad boy that I had to end up with. They were very good guys. I swear, I see them these days. I'm like, why the fuck I no date this boy that time? Maybe
you
we'll
see,
still date together.
women like good men, but they like bad
No,
boys, or
good
they
boys are
like good men.
boring. Good boys are
Like when they
boring.
grow up, you like good men. You don't like bad men. Yeah,
Yes,
but as when you're young, there you like bad boys.
exactly. And bad boys are toxic, but this kind of dramatic toxic that girls
Yeah,
like.
like
So I found myself more attracted to the bad.
yeah.
Oh, no, be small fight for school. Like Jesus, every prep I'm coming to the class with red eyes because we're having fights. You see a situation where I'm talking to another guy, he's already pissed off. It was just
Mm.
hell back and forth. But I still did not go anywhere. Almost okay, so fast forward to we finished school and all that. I
Was
finished
this guy your
school
mate?
17,
Okay.
17, about to become 18. So after my 18th birthday, I think
Okay.
he was supposed to travel out.
Okay.
So this kind of you come around to see your boyfriend before he goes.
Yeah.
I couldn't follow him to Abuja, unfortunately, because I was
Okay.
still in my father's house.
Mm.
I went to see him, that kind of thing. So Ah, I don't even like thinking about the situation because
Yeah.
when I think about it, I feel very stupid.
Yeah, but
I think I would have just done it because I wanted to do it, not because I wanted to prove that I love
you
you and I'm going to be here
okay,
for
so that was
you.
like the
And
card.
yeah, that was
That
the
was the card
card.
you played.
Yes, I love you and I'm going to be here till you do whatever you want to do and come back. Bullshit. It's bullshit.
That is. Mm.
So it happened and I honestly regretted it. I
Oh,
didn't even talk to him for like 2 weeks. He left trying to reach me.
I know that must have really hurt you. And you know, this is quite unique to me because the stories I've heard before, most of the time the girls like they actually do try it with the guys and they don't succeed for like one, two, three times. You know, it's like you people know it's going to happen. You try it, you talk about it and stuff like that.
No, there
You
was no talking about it. It was
so
just that
you
moment.
know, and I understand. I think it's something difficult to deal with, to be honest. If you woke up that morning, didn't know you were going to actually
No,
have
we
sex.
used to have those fights. Like in school, you see other couples doing all this kissing. I was
Yeah.
FCS for that matter. So
Oh,
it was even like out of the books. Even to hold my hand was a problem.
wow.
Not because I didn't want it, but I had a lot of
Yeah,
people
you had
looking up to me.
reputation. Yeah.
Yes, so it was really difficult. You see, we have fights of um I don't want to come stay with him during prep so we could
Mm,
read. But I knew what was going to come out
yeah.
of those. So I didn't even want to do them. But I had to because I had this illusion
Yeah.
or this infatuation that I love this guy.
You know, I think women actually do have a sense of responsibility earlier than men do.
Yeah.
Because you see this thing, men will throw all caution to the wind. Even until this age, a lot of men will throw caution to the wind when
Mm-hmm.
women would actually hold their own and try to do the correct thing. But thank you for really sharing that because I think your own is pretty unique. I've heard lots of stories of how people
Please,
did it the
this
first time.
should not go back because oh my god. I don't even know why I shared this, but
See,
every time I'm talking about virginity, you find me saying this to
no,
someone
no, see,
because
there's a there's a good side to this because people will learn from these experiences. There's somebody out there now that now there's social media, there's
people
texting up
don't
and
learn
down.
from other people's experiences. Funny enough, you
No, no,
just
no.
hear these things and you laugh. You will learn from your own
No,
experience
it's
better.
the older people might laugh, yeah. No, nobody will even laugh. The older people might be wow, intrigued, but a 16, 17, 14-year-old girl has a boyfriend. Everybody has WhatsApp now. And he's always like telling her, if you love me, you would have given me this thing a long time
I
ago.
swear,
You get
that's the
now she would know that
line.
this is cap,
That is
you
the
get
line. That
and
is cap. Like it's bullshit.
you see.
He doesn't love you. He just wants to get the cookie and bounce. I'm not even joking.
So that's it, you know, the positive. But generally I think that is why you would say everybody should just leave it until
Just leave
then.
it until
But how about
marriage.
okay, you know what, men see, I think I'm changing my perspective now on this issue. I think boys like 16 maybe should have sex, but now I'm thinking about the girls in question that
Mm-hmm.
you're having sex with. I realize that at 16 you're probably as a woman you're probably immature, too immature to
Immature.
know
You're
what
too
you have
immature.
as a woman in terms of being able to give somebody
16 is
sex.
too immature for a girl. That's why I said
Yeah,
18, so that you know how to deal with these emotions when they come. Because
yeah,
when you have sex with someone at first, you see, you start having the second thoughts of, hi, did he use me? Does he
mm-hmm.
really love me? Is he going to call me?
Yeah,
Is he going to still talk to me? Are we still going to be okay? Is he going to want to do it again? Because it's not even a pleasant
yeah. Experience for you at
experience
those
for
early
you.
stages.
So you become agitated, you become anxious,
Yeah,
always wanting to know what is going to happen next. I don't think anybody should put yourself through that kind of stress
mm,
emotionally or psychologically.
that's correct.
It's not advisable till you know how to handle those emotions. Because now, more if you want to have sex with anybody, I think it's like a free world. You talk
Yeah,
about it, understand the
yeah.
person, do what you want to do. If it's a relationship, you guys date. If it's not, you bounce. So
Okay.
I know how to handle myself better now that I'm an
Mm,
adult. So
yeah,
I
and you're not
think
married,
I
so
think
I want you to check this point out now. So, what if I think men should have sex as early as they can? Not as early as they can, like maybe from 16, thereabouts. Women shouldn't. But however, there are girls who, I don't know, like I would say sluts, but they will say that slut shaming. But I'm not calling anybody. There are girls who like give freely or who would give freely, and they
yeah.
wouldn't care until like I know girls who, since I knew them maybe in school. They were loose. You get, and it's not as if they've learned. I know some that have learned and
Yeah.
they are now better women. I know some that are still like that. You get, so some of them would sleep with younger boys.
Mm-hmm.
So those boys normally, boys, if you're going, you should have sex early, yeah, like maybe 16, 17 to me, and to gain that experience, know how to please a woman, know a woman's body and stuff like that. But it shouldn't be you having a girlfriend tricking her into doing it or blackmailing her into doing it. But it's good for you to have the experience because when you get married, for example, you should be able to please that woman.
Mhm.
And then women also, you shouldn't be having sex with your like first boyfriend or when you're like 16, 17, 18. In fact, maybe 19, 20, when you know you have the
I
ability
think
to
for
deal with.
women, it should be when you're matured enough to handle it.
Yeah,
I don't know about guys, but I'm a woman and I'm talking based on my
yeah.
own experiences. I
And I'm,
think you should have it when you're mature enough to
yeah,
handle
and
it.
I'm saying this because women have sex affects you guys more and you are more emotionally attached to sex.
Exactly,
Men,
exactly.
they do it and they get up and they leave. You get that's how no,
That's
I'm
what
not
you people want to believe. Men want to believe that they do it and get up and leave.
no, it's an experience. Every man with that you're not a man, you get I don't argue with the
Okay,
female part of
I'm not a
things.
man, I can't say,
Yeah.
but
A man can have
I think
sex
men just
and
try
not
to do that
remember to
that
call you and not care when he remembers.
masculine,
No, 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 no.
I'm a man,
Understand
alpha
that
male kind of thingy.
no, you don't
Because thinking
understand that
about it,
we
when a
don't
man has sex with a woman, okay,
we don't
people
work the
usually
same.
say, yeah,
We don't work the same.
men have
You
sex with whoever they want, women have sex with who they like.
no, men have sex who they can.
Who they can, women
Uh-huh.
have sex with who they like.
So it's not like a big deal for us when we do it, especially after we do. That's why men have what they call postnat clarity, where after you have sex, you now realize that it wasn't
Did I
really.
even really like
That is
this
why people
girl?
lose interest after sex because at the end of the day, yeah, that's
But I
how men
have
see
that a lot
sex.
too.
That's when maybe when it's disappointing, for
Not
example.
disappointing.
Okay, let me not argue with that. But I think with men, yeah, it's more abundant. It happens every single
But
time. You get
I wanted to even talk about the men thing because
okay,
I started doing that thing as a defense mechanism, right? So that you will not beat me to it. Like you will
okay.
not beat me to
I
not
think that
wanting to
means
feel me
you're not
again.
naturally wired that way then.
That's what I'm saying.
So you see,
I
we're
think you people
different.
too is just a defense mechanism to not
It's
like
not.
this girl again.
Nobody. No, seriously. You see, if you see the attention men use to text a woman when they've not slept with her yet,
That's true.
the attention they use, you would think is lie. It's not. If you're really interested, like you like, she's fine. You're like, I like the way you speak. All those things you get when you smash. It's not as if some people are evil. Yeah, they are whining you, but some people actually do care to call you, know how you are, what you're doing, and after sometimes you have sex and then you bond. But
Yeah.
most times, I'm telling you, like 90% of the time, after you have sex, you're like,
I
you can
think
still
it's
be in
two
touch,
ways, you
but
bond or not.
it's not 50-50. To me, it's not 50-50. My experience is not 50, it's far from 50-50. Maybe 80-20 or 90-10, to be honest.
Wow,
Yeah.
that bad.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, you can still stay friends, you can still care about that person, but it's just not the same. Yeah, this is going to be detrimental to me saying this here, but I've had people also that have said they won't know this is how it was, but that I've said, this is not how it was before.
Exactly.
I'm like, it's not my fault. Sometimes I'm actually more busier now, but it's different, right? The interest is actually different.
Yeah.
So to me, I think men should have sex, but maybe if you can do it with skanks or those have the experience somehow, but don't go and play with anybody's heart. So that when you're there at the marriage level, you won't disappoint you or you can show her what it is that she should be getting. Because if you're inexperienced yourself and God forbid something happens and she goes and sleeps with another man somewhere and he really does it the way he's supposed to, if that's a new feeling you get to her, even if tough you're having sex, but when he takes her to levels that you've not taken her.
So I'm trying to go personal with you now. So you're trying to say that you've never been in the like intimate with someone
Mm.
and you find yourself saying do it like this or
I
don't do
know
it
I
like
have.
this.
I have.
So why can't the man or the inexperienced man or woman say, "Ah, baby, don't do it like this. Do it like this. I watch it in the TV. The other. Why can't they see there are even better or plenty ways for inexperienced people to spice up their sex life
Mm.
now? There's porn. I'm not advising that. I'm just saying there is porn.
Mm.
There are books
Mhm.
that help.
Mhm.
Books online.
Mm.
There are movies you could watch,
Right.
and then above all, there is communication.
Okay. So when your which one pleases you more? Let me tell you. Maybe you have younger ones at home here,
Mm-hmm.
and you are outside. You couldn't reach your younger one at home. Maybe you
Mm-hmm.
needed him to wash your clothes, for example. If you call him, please help me wash my clothes, and you get home and you see that he has washed your clothes and dried them for you, you'll be happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what about the one where your phone died? You now came back home and saw that your clothes were already washed, and which one will please you more?
Well,
Obviously, you know the one that will please you more. Don't try to twist it now.
I'm not trying to twist it. He washed my clothes. That's very thoughtful.
Mm-hmm.
But as I didn't ask,
But
of course that's
but
more pleasing.
that one will bust your head more.
Yes.
That one
But
is
it
busting
still
your head
does
more.
not mean that because I asked him and he did exactly the same thing, it's not pleasing. It's still pleasing. It's still as much.
And you would know, if you've not experienced one, the other won't seem like
I
much.
have.
When you no, I'm not saying you haven't. I mean, if you've if you're always telling this man what to do, mm, and you're okay with it,
Mm-hmm.
it's because you've not been with somebody that you don't have to tell what to do, and they're like telling you things you didn't even know you would enjoy.
Yeah.
You get, and then I mean that's as I say, God forbid, if that happens, then
God forbid.
that if that happens, that really creates a big problem, because now you're with somebody who you don't have to tell anything, and you're always wondering
That's
what's
why
the next thing he will do that I don't
you're
even
not
know I
supposed
like,
to
but I
carry
like.
that kind of comparison. No, you're not. People are different.
It's a
Because
possibility.
whoever the inexperienced one was with before was probably enjoying it. So he already has that in his mind that okay, this thing pleases a woman. I hope you know that different things please different women. I hope you know that.
I just
There are girls that want to have sex for 2 hours non-stop. There are some that want 20 minutes stand up for my body. There are some people that like
Hey, hold up.
prolonged.
You said 20 minutes, like 20 minutes is like wow.
There are some that like prolonged foreplay and then just no penetration at all.
Hmm.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And there are some that even prefer like just start touching me and let's go down.
Okay.
So different things please women differently.
Hmm.
So you cannot just you have to talk to your partner. That's what I'm trying to say. No matter how experienced he thinks he is.
Okay. So now that we've bounced points back and forth, oh, what's
Okay.
funny? Now that we've bounced points back and forth, what
Okay.
is the concluding factor? What do you? Let me say my own first, so then you would go.
Okay.
And this is not for argument. I just want to say what I think, so people can now get deduce what they want from it at the end of the day. So I'm going to sound a little bit repetitive now, but like I said, I think women should have sex before marriage.
Mm-hmm.
One, for a little bit of experience.
Okay.
Two, to be able to know about their own body, so they can now communicate to somebody in the future.
Exactly.
And then, but do it when they are sure they can handle it emotionally. Yeah. So I'm not putting an age bracket on it. I'm putting an age
Exactly.
bracket on it. But for men, I think when puberty hits you, and you're curious like that, I know from my experience that it doesn't play into my mind emotionally when sex happens, right? So I'm assuming that's how it is for most men. So for most young guys now, you should do it maybe when you're 16, 17, because I think at that age you are a mature-minded person. You should be only conscious of protection, so that you don't get somebody pregnant or have a disease that will change your life.
Mm-hmm.
But ideally, that's what a woman should do, and then this is what a guy should do. And then if you meet in marriage, I think that's going to be a healthy union. That's what I think. So what is your own thinking?
I agree with you about the girls
Okay.
having sex when they are mature enough to handle it
Mm.
with no age bracket to it.
Mm.
I don't know about guys, and honestly, I do not care when
Okay.
they have sex. All I know is that grow and become a
Mm.
man that can give his wife or his girlfriend good sex. That's all.
Okay. So I would say my own way that I said would really lead you to that part where you can give your wife or girlfriend good sex. So thank you very much for coming. Really
Thank
appreciate it.
you. It was nice doing this. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and this was impromptu, by the way.
Yeah, it
Thank you very
was.
much for watching and listening to the Good Living Podcast. I appreciate you, and see you next time.